I love it. Teenage Wasteland. We had to play that song.
Yeah, it's perfect fit.
It's perfect because first up today, we decided to cover a parenting topic that we think you're going to find interesting because Tiff fashions herself a mother of my 3 kids. So no matter what side of the spectrum you are on, are you a helicopter parent? Are you totally the opposite? Do you do everything for your kid? Or are you more like our first guest? The anti-helicopter mom, right?
She is.
Megan McCormick refuses to do for her kids. Why? Because she's my hero.
Yeah, non-helicopter mom. Please welcome back Megan McCormick, who's got 6 kids to non-helicopter. We were talking in the dressing room beforehand. We were saying, is it easier to be...
Because we dress together.
Right, that's what we do.
Although we clash today, you never know we dress together.
We were saying if you have more kids, it's probably easier to not be all in their business. Do you think because you have 6 kids, you would have been the same had you only had 1, 2, or 3?
It would have been smarter if I'd only had 1, 2, or 3. But since I do have 6, I have to live with the consequences. And I don't know that it would be easier or not. I only have 2 children that remain living at home with me right now because the other 4 have all gone on strike. But
no, wait. Are they
they're all
in college?
4 of them are in college.
Okay, but none of them have run away or moved out.
No, I wish they would. I encourage it.
I wish they would.
I keep a suitcase right near the door, little phone,
It's like the Bachelor, Bachelorette, where the suitcase is packed
there you go.
every time
Head out
they
the
leave.
door. So I only have 2 at home right now, but I have to say I do nothing for them. I really don't. I mean, I'm trying to put out capable human beings out there, and I don't need somebody calling me somewhere down the road, some wife or some husband saying, what the heck did you tag me with? These are just awful human beings.
Right. See, okay, I just have to say, Tiff found this article, and it's Stop Doing These 8 Things for Your Teen, and we're going to try to go through as many of them as possible, because I love this article.
It's great.
And you came to mind instantly, because when I joke or say you're my hero, you really are, because here's something I want to show you a picture of. Tiff knows this story because I came into the office today telling this story. I won't name this kid. I know you usually throw out their name.
This is a homework form that you're looking at,
This is a piece of homework. The teacher emailed me and one of my kids last night and said to this child, don't forget your homework. I'll one last chance. I'll give you a grade on it if you turn it in today.
It's important.
It's important. When I left for work, that was the only thing sitting on the kitchen island. So what did I do? I wanted to take it to school. I'll be honest, because the teacher emailed me too. I felt a little bit on the hook about it.
Right.
I took a picture of it instead and left it sitting there.
Oh, it's so much smarter.
Are you proud of me?
I'm very proud of you because...
It was hard.
No, it's not hard at all. You're just making it hard. It isn't hard at all. I used to work at the school that my children went to for grade school, and I used to go to work at 11 o'clock, and their lunch or 2 would be sitting on the counter or whatever. I would walk right past it to get my car keys to go out the door. I wouldn't even bring it. And then when I would leave work at the end of the day, they didn't get a ride home with me. They had to take the bus. I would say to them, my tax dollars are taking you home today. My car is for myself, my tax dollars. So first of all, I'm fascinated that the teacher emailed you. This is the world that we're living in because poor teachers are up against everybody. I would have emailed back the teacher and said, he doesn't need any more chances. Yeah. That's the end of the story. That's what I would have emailed back.
Well, and it was hard because she did the homework. She didn't blow it off. She did it. It was sitting there. It was done.
And then forgot it.
All right, what you got?
Okay, keep going. What else do you have for
me? Okay, what do you got,
Here's the list of 8. I just want to kind of go through some of them.
You know what? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Read some of them.
These are the things that you're supposed to stop doing for your teen right now. And I think this is great. My situation was I grew up in a single-parent home. My mom was raising 3 of us, and she worked an hour away. So she wasn't there when we got up. She wasn't there when we got home from school just because of her work situation. So a lot of these things my mom never did for us, and so that's part of the reason why I think if I were a parent, I would parent the same way, just because you kind of want to pass on the stuff that happened to you. Yeah. Right. But here are the list of 8 things you're supposed to stop doing. Number 1, waking them up in the morning.
Never.
Never wake them up. What age did you stop? Because what I think is interesting in some of this is that clearly at some point you're responsible for them, you're responsible for their well-being. When does it come a point that you're always raising an adult? You're not raising a child, but when does it come the point where it's their responsibility and not yours? Is there an age that is a
high
guideline?
School, first of all, they miss the bus, they got to find their own ride in grade school, a neighbor, somebody else. But in high school, absolutely not.
And what is grade school? Is that
6th, 7th, 8th grade, whatever that is.
I love it. Remember, she's got the kid who took an Uber
to school.
That's right.
to high school.
Because they're not allowed to take a car to school if they can't get themselves out the door on time.
That's right.
I love you have a kid who called Uber.
So you're kind of clarifying 6th grade.
Yes, I would say
Is
right
that
around.
well, she's saying high school. So
High
that's
school, I
like,
would never wake anybody up. I was asleep till 10:30 on
Yeah.
Saturday morning, which, by the way, never happens. And I slept until 10:30, and my mother asked me how my son Finian got out the door for work. He works at 7 a.m. every Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's his job. So to her, I have no idea how he got out. That's not my job. I had a job through high school. I don't remember you ever waking me up. And he got himself to work. That's what he does. He's been working there for 2 years. He knows he's got to get up and get out the door.
Isn't it funny? Because I feel like at this point,
seriously?
yeah,
Like,
she's like, keep going.
Give me more.
I feel like at this point, I already like your kids. Do you
I
know
don't
what I mean? Like,
that's very generous. 'Cause
I
I got to
really
tell you,
do.
I might bring them all in here one day, and you
then
might
see?
say differently. You might say, you got a couple of real stinkers in that group. You got a couple of real.
Look at they clean up
Yeah,
well.
they do
though.
clean
Look
up
at
well.
them.
I will say that's a very airbrushed photo. That's really airbrushed. A couple of those.
They really weren't even smiling.
A couple
It's
of those
actually
aren't
edited.
even mine. A couple of those are neighbors. I took some good-looking children from my neighbor's house and said, "Hey, you look a lot better. I'm going to exchange you out for number 2." Yeah.
Put pictures up in your living room
exactly.
of
Other
kids that aren't
people's
even
children.
yours.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's like, what else you got?
What else you got?
Okay, number 2, making their breakfast, packing their lunch. We covered that, right?
Don't do that.
They pack their own, and your kids pack their own lunch.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, filling out their paperwork. We covered that. Delivering their
No.
forgotten items.
Just really quick on filling out their paperwork. This is huge because my oldest now is just getting to the college age.
Right.
And people are like, well, where did she apply? You know, forms, recommendation letters. I have no idea. She's done all of that.
As she should be.
A lot of parents, though, do the paperwork. And I'm not just talking college admissions, but you know, camp forms, school registration forms, all that stuff.
No. First of all, I couldn't get into college again if I had to, so let's just be clear about that. So I couldn't help my children fill out anything for college applications or essays. I couldn't get myself into, you know, anything. I don't have it in me, but they do. That's what you want your daughter to be doing. She's going to college. So you want her to be able to fill out her own paperwork and do all of her stuff. All right, what else you got?
She has to do it all there. What's next?
I love her.
Making their failure to plan your emergency. They talk about, especially, you know, picking up materials, things
Terrible.
like that.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible idea.
Has it happened? Has there
Never.
been a moment where they've
Never. No.
failed to plan?
Negative.
No, do they see you as being loving and caring?
I hope not. I'm
Yes, they do.
I'm really hoping that they're all watching right now and saying, God, she is just as awful on TV as she is in
No,
person.
because I know your kids' friends like you.
Well, they do like me. Their friends like my kids' friends do like me because they're not my children. But that last part about the emergencies. So that article, which I read, which I loved, and I want to meet that lady and become her #1 fan. Also stalk her because that's brilliant stuff that she wrote. I have a big bucket that I've always had. It's got crap in it. It's got whatever. But this is a good thing. My junior in high school just had a chemistry project. I don't know what it was. I'm lucky if I knew he's in chemistry class because I do not know any of my kids' classes.
You don't check their
it
grades
could be
online.
It could be a game show that I could fail miserably. Name 3 classes your daughter in grad school is in. Name something your daughter in freshman. I'd be like, I couldn't tell you. But I came home, there was a package of Skittles on the counter, little concentric circles drawn, and he was doing little protons and neutrons with a hot glue gun. I know nothing about that. It's none of my business. I already took chemistry and, by the way, did extremely poorly in it. So I don't need to do it again.
You don't need to pass
no,
on
so
that.
he's made his own made his own plan and taken care of it.
I think especially as it relates to projects, she has a good point because I think that's where parents tend to get most involved is that extra stuff, the projects. And I agree. I mean, I don't know what projects my kids have either, and I feel like when they get a grade on their project, it's truly their own grade, pass or fail, grade or not. And I think it's important because when they go to college, they're doing it on their own.
Doing anything for
Yeah.
them.
We're out of time, so I'm just
Okay.
going to go through these. Doing their laundry, emailing and calling their teachers and coaches, and meddling in their academics. They say a good time to talk about these topics is by having a weekly family meeting. I don't know if that's something you endorse.
No.
No.
I don't have no time for a family meeting. None whatsoever. The family meeting is my husband and I tell them what's happening and get with the program or find a different place to go because this is the way it's going to roll here.
Yeah. And some people are going to look at you and think she's really hardcore. Like, doesn't she love
I
her
hope
kids?
so. I love them all deeply. They are remarkably great human beings. They are all extraordinarily fun in very different ways, but they are people, and as you all know, people are extremely annoying. There's a lot of annoying people out there in the world. And
do you cook dinner? Do you have family dinner?
I do have family dinner, and now that it's gotten so small, that entails, you know, putting something in the microwave, heating it up for 4 minutes, and there's your family meal coming right out.
But when they were all at home,
yes,
did you cook
I
meals?
always had family dinners.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're out of time, but man, I could talk to you
for
forever.
having.
I love it when you're here. And we've talked about some other topics that we'd like to discuss.
I would love to be here for it. But I do love my children, so that nobody starts sending you hate mail. I do love every single one of them.
Is it because you love them that you have them
I
do
do.
for themselves?
They are all extraordinarily successful, starting out. I mean, they are all doing exactly what I was hoping, and my husband was hoping, that they would be capable, confident, and competent adults. And that's what I want.
You rock, Megan. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You should